the fact is, we are born into the situations we were born into. One day you are, and you try to do something with yourself. The best advice anybody ever gave me was very simple. Go make something out of yourself, you know.
What's up, Dirty Cones? It's an older episode, 2 years ago, from Death, Sex, and Money with Bill Withers, How to Be a Man. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Bill Withers is, man, if you have never heard the song Lean On Me, you need to stop right now, open up some other YouTube page, Bill Withers, Lean On Me, or even Club Nouveau. It's a beautiful song. It'll make your day, and if you're feeling lonely, I think it'll definitely make you feel not alone. So, it's Saturday. I'm on my way to Inland. Except for we spell it with an N. But I hope you guys like H. H was a little quick, because I know E and F were kind of like, okay, dude, I'm with you. Usually you're very, there. And, but, I don't know. I try to keep my opinion to myself and allow you guys to make your own opinions. And I think that's the best way to go about life. But it's kind of funny. I is how the whole podcast thing that I do started. And it was because I was doing the videos of how to do a push-up, and this is in underwater. And because that was about all that was all I really wanted to do. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I hadn't even thought about talking to anybody. I was just like, you know what? I hope some cones, they'll learn, they'll be happy, and I'll feel good because I've helped them learn to do push-ups, and then they'll come to Indoc and life will be good. So somebody writes me and goes, hey, what do you think about Isil? And I was like, like I said, I'm still not really big into giving my opinion. I like giving you guys facts and truths, and then you guys come up with whatever you want to come up with. But here was an opportunity, I'm like, well, alright. Isil rhymes with asshole and a bunch of goat fuckers with no honor. And I stand by it. Like, it's not an untrue statement, so I think it's alright. And that was it. Who am I? Who are you? Rhetorical questions. We won't get that far into it. I think you guys have figured out who I am. So figure out who you are. Figure out what you stand for. Figure out what's important to you. Figure out, for me it was the line in Say Anything, where Lloyd Dobler, played by John Cusack, says, I am looking for a dare to be great situation. And that was pararescue for me. That was my dare to be great. So that's what you need to figure out. What is your dare to be great situation? What is what would define you? What will make you? What will break you? You got to know your strengths and your weaknesses, and you got to be truthful to yourself with, you know what, I suck at that. And then you got to be like, you know what, though? I'm practicing, I'm learning, I'm teaching, and I'm drinking milk, and someday I'm going to be tall. So who am I? Who are you? Figure it out. And the quicker you figure it out, the better your life will be. But people say, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know what? I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I don't think you ever have to grow up. I think not. Yes, you're responsible. Yes, you're have a job. You grow up in that way, but you're not miserable and hating life and unhappy and a Cone's life, keeping your eyes and ears open and just out there doing it all, it pays off. It's good. It keeps you healthy because it's the right thing to do. It's integrity. It's excellence in all we do, and it's important. I know you're like, hey, he's reaching for these eyes. Being true to yourself, being true to your nature, standing by your ideals. I'm still an idealist. I still think that the world can be a better place. And some days, that it bites me in the butt because I'm so hopeful that I'm like, no, it's got to get better, something. And then, it doesn't. And you're like, whew. I mean, because look at 9/11, right? 9/11 happened. Everybody thinks the world is over. Oh my God. And life has never been the same since. But now you've got, you had Madrid, you've had Brussels, you've got Paris, you've got Nice, you've got all these other events that have happened. Some are, you can't compare one thing to another. They're all horrible. Crashing airplanes into a building or driving down the road in a giant U-Haul vehicle mowing over people. You're not going to compare those. So they're all bad. They're all but we're not numb, and we shouldn't be numb, because that's what, one, they want to make us angry to where we do stupid things, and two, they want us numb and apathetic and not caring. And I don't know if I have a predisposition for caring or hoping or wanting things to be better. Is it because I'm more optimistic than pessimistic, or is it just like, I'd rather be optimistic than pessimistic, and I would rather laugh than cry. So I'll take my hope where I can, and I will smile when I can, and deal with bad stuff later. But you got to get through your day, so you can't let it get to you. You can let it anger you on an underwater or at night when you're like, whoa, dude, whoa, I'm so, but in the moment you gotta stay strong. And here's a Sere story that will explain. So I'm in survival, and you only have to give them your name, the four, and I'm not going into serious details just so it's not taking anything, but so the guy is asking me questions and stuff, and they'll do stuff and then debrief you and let you know how you did. And he got my name out of me, and he knew where I lived, and I was like, my face was like, but it was split second, but it was enough time for him to see. So went for the debrief. It stops, and he starts asking me a question, and I just start crying, tearing up, I'm like, I can't breathe. And he's like, "Are you alright?" I'm like, he's like, "Give me," and he's like, "It's alright, take a minute, you're good." And he's like, gives me a couple minutes to breathe, and he's like, "What happened?" And and he figures out what happens. He's like, you were doing really well. Like I didn't even know that, you know, you were. He said I was a rock. Like he couldn't read anything on me. And he said, you know, I'm stuck in traffic, so. So he says to me, oh man, dang traffic. Shoot. Alright, so this is so he alright. So he sends me on my way, and when he didn't send me on my way, the guy just sent me on my way. You know, I hate these ums and ahs and stops, but shoot. It says this is where it shows. Can he drive and think at the same time? No, he cannot. There we go. All right. So he so I was 21, so it was a pretty intense moment for me. I'd never, you know, like I felt like I was worthless. I'd given up my name and my address, and I'm like, oh, you know, but I held it in until it was safe for me to go, and I dropped my guard as soon as he said, you know, like, game over, timeout. I'm like, whoa, you know. And he's like, I had no clue you were like, and I was like, I didn't know I was at that moment either. Like there was no inkling that I was holding that much in, and then I felt that bad, you know, that I failed, and it was kind of one of those learning moments in your life where you're like, all right, you know, I do have a lot in there, and I can do what I need to do and perform my duties, you know, because what else are you gonna do? You're gonna fail these people? Are you gonna fail your friends, your brothers, your family, No, you're not gonna fail. You're gonna do it. So you're gonna hold it in, and then when it's safe to be human and it's safe to let your guard down, you drop it. But in those moments when you're working, it's not blood, it's water, it's oil. It's whatever you need to do to get yourself through it, to do the right thing, and to help these people. And that's it. So, hope you guys liked it. Sorry about that little break back there. I was watching traffic as trying to get to work. So, I hope you have a great day. It's beautiful, cloudy day, getting a little rain from Louisiana. So, I hope everybody in Louisiana and Mississippi is doing all right. I know there's a lot of flooding. So everyone learn to swim, stay safe out there, and train hard. Hooyah.